G'day tubers and groovers, and welcome to this special episode of Take the Fear Out the Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
Today we're going to get musical and we're going to get very arty. So what we're going to do now, look, we're going to just play some B-roll footage, right, Si?
What an awesome piece of footage it is.
It is a great bit of footage.
Yeah.
We want to champion this guy who's an artist, and his name is Cham. We better spell it out. That's C-H-A-M. Might have been a tagger in his day. I don't know. We'll have to ask him whenever we meet this famous Cham, right? Here's some B-roll footage. Check it out. Simon, can you do magic?
I reckon.
Can you make Cham magically appear in that chair?
Yeah, let's do it then.
Ready? Conjure him up.
Cham.
Cham. Whoa, dude, it worked.
Best entrance ever.
He's here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cham.
Hey.
Right, listen, what a thrill it is for us personally to have him here. Man, is great, dude. I mean, what can we say? It's terrific, fantastic and wonderful.
That's very nice of you to say.
I mean, you're working kind of specifically on musical instruments, it seems, at the moment, although you do everything.
It's with airbrush you can paint anything on anything, but with the love of music icons, I'm no musician but enjoy the music, so I paint the people I enjoy and paint people that sort of inspire me. And I took the decision a little while ago to use musical instruments as the canvas.
Well, what's your ear?
We've got to pick this one up, haven't we? Here we go.
Give us a hand to hold my favourite, can you? Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I mean, can you guess who it is? I think it's pretty damn obvious, isn't it? So, just to say, but if anybody wanted something specifically done, you could, if they was to contact you, do that for them, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. You'll either have people that have their favourite guitar, or they might have either sometimes get a friend's or a relative's guitar and they want something done to remember them by. So, not always portraits, although I do specialise in portraits. It's creating something on the guitar itself to make it a little bit more special. And it's something you can hang up on the wall still and enjoy, but take it down and play if you want to.
So how did all this art thing start then? I know we had a bit of a chat earlier, but what was your inspiration to sort of start art in the first place?
Always draw. I'm a people watcher. I like seeing what's going around, and I would always sketch as a kid, and that just developed. I did a long career as a designer, had a very nice career, but always wanted to go back to the creative element and just creating something unique and one-off.
And obviously you got into airbrushing as well then, from your drawing to airbrushing and...
Yeah, I had a very good friend of mine who's sadly no longer with us that gave me, I rented his gallery as a space to work in for a while and didn't even know what airbrushing was. So picked up, he said, try this. I tried it. He went, you can do that. And then basically that was the end of my tutorial, and I carried on just...
I think you proved you can do it.
Hats off to the man, because I spent, 6 years and 6 hours a day, and nope, didn't work for me. I'm a musician and that's where my talent is. And I think everybody's got a unique talent. I mean, you've got to work on it, obviously, haven't you? It didn't come easy, did it?
I'm not saying it did come easy, but it's a lovely technique. It's very intuitive. You can play around with the pressure, the paint, the moving backwards and forwards, and after a while you stop thinking about what you're actually physically doing and the technical side and just start painting. And once you reach that stage, which only takes quite a few years, you can start enjoying it more.
How do you get your ideas? I mean, we've got... this beautiful lady here. I don't know if Tube's weather or not. We've got photos of these. We will show them. It's hard because they're very, very shiny, and we've got lights in the studio. And I'm trying to show you. And they play as well. I mean, just to show you, look. Just out of respect for Fleetwood Mac at the moment. It's about the only one I can play. But, I've had a rough tune up. It's very... That's it, 20 quid's worth of damage. That's a Fender acoustic guitar. Well done, Dave. We've got Mr. Dave Plums in the house as well behind the camera. The one and only Dave Plums. Come on in, let's have it. We are putting photos up, but it's also nice to see him in the flesh.
This leads on from last week, doesn't it? On our David Bowie stylophone.
We just done the David Bowie stylophone, and here's a beautiful David Bowie acoustic guitar. I wish I used to be able to play Space Oddity, but I've forgotten it. I've forgotten how it goes now. It's really weird. That's beautiful. And this is all like airbrush and bit of brushwork as well.
Practically all of that is airbrush.
How do you get so much detail with airbrush? It's just phenomenal.
You can go down to the individual eyelash if you've got the right brush and the right patience. And
that is scary. So right, let's talk about time then. So we got here a Harley Benton. Not the world's most expensive guitar, but you certainly added some value to it now. What sort of time scale, if you went in the shop and bought that and took it home yourself, not being a luffier, by the way?
Yeah.
Or you buy that in kit form, I believe, that one, didn't you?
That one is, yeah. So that saves you breaking it down. But with all art, it's the prep. If I'm doing canvas work, you take the canvas, you unwrap it, you put it on the easel, you could prime it occasionally, but I can start painting straight away. With this... you've got to take everything off. You've got to prep the wood. You've got to sand the wood. I have to prime the wood, and then you have to flatten the primer. Then you're at the stage where you can actually start painting. That's the fun part. Then
this brings us to the price, people. You've got to understand that with something so unique and so time-consuming, if you was to pay someone by the hour to do something, you expect to pay a lot of money. We don't expect to get any of this stuff cheap, like dirt cheap, because this is a lot of work. There's hours and hours and hours of work involved in this stuff. Now, if someone was to get a luthier to strip their guitar down, and they didn't want any work on the neck, but just the body itself, and they gave you the body, again, you've got to do all the prep on that, haven't you? Because it's got the manufactured lacquer on it, and manufactured paint.
I treat it the same way. I do this, and I do a lot of custom motorcycles, and with a motorcycle tank, some people will just give it a bit of a buff and then start painting, but I'll go back to the metal, so I'll go back to the wood here, and then I'll actually prime it with a 2-pack primer, because you want something, if someone does want to play this, it's happy, they want it, I'm more than happy if it hangs on the wall for the rest of the time, but they want to take it down and play it, they can play it.
2-pack, respect, rest in peace, brother.
And obviously you've got quite a few coats of lacquer on these as well, so they, as you say, you can play them.
Yeah.
And they're not going to mark too easily.
Yeah, once it's finished, it's a 2-pack lacquer. I'll lacquer it, flat it, lacquer it again, flat it, lacquer it again, and then do it again if it's needed. And you keep on that until you get the finish that you actually that works. You could get an aerosol out and spray it and be done in 10 minutes, but I just can't work that way. If it's going to be done, it's got to be done.
You've got to do it properly, yeah.
Without a
And
doubt.
I suppose what we should say is, when we're talking about guitars, what about the drummers? What, do you do anything for drummers at all?
It's funny you should
Yeah.
say that.
Well, Dave-
Again, you would have seen them in the photographs in the B-roll footage, but again, you can't beat seeing it in real life. This is a 22-inch or a 20.
That's a 22-inch.
22. We lost one of our dearest drummers. We've lost a lot of good musicians. But everybody knows who this is. I don't even have to say his name. Look what this beautiful man has done for this beautiful man. I wish I knew this bloke's family because I think they would adore this. This is a 22-inch bass drum skin. Now, I can't tell if the light is reflecting back at you or not. Dave, has it look all right in the lens?
Yep.
The one and only Taylor Hawkins, ladies and gentlemen, and look at the detail on that. My God, it looks like a photograph. It really does. And that's airbrush, I can't believe it. It's airbrush. Wow. He's found, I know for a son, for a fact, sorry, fraudulent slip, his son would love this. His son would love it. If only there was a way.
He was such a character, but he was just energy for me. He's,
Yeah.
you just enjoyed watching him play.
Rest in peace, Taylor. Bless him. Dave Grohl would even appreciate that. I think he would love it.
So that's what made me do that. I was gonna, I do a lot of canvas work, and when we lost him, I just had an urge to try and paint him on the canvas. But then it just seemed right to use the drum skin itself as the.
Tug at the heartstrings,
yeah.
dude.
It just seems the right, appropriate way in my way to do a little tribute to actually get through. So for me, it means more that it's actually on the drum head that connects with the person I'm painting.
Yeah, so if you're looking for, well, if you're looking for a special present for someone, any commission for something to remember someone by, that would be
Yeah.
an awesome thing to give to someone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and what I like to work with, the same as all my work, is you work with the client. So there's not a here's my catalogue and here's
Yeah.
what you have. You find
So
out what you want, and it
It's
might
going to be personal to that person as well, which is
might
what
be-
you want, isn't it?
yeah, it might be someone that they wanted. It might have been a gig that they went to. It might be an album that they like, or it just you can link it in. I always
Pets, dogs.
It could be done. As we've discussed before, I treat it the same as if you're going to get a tattoo. You get something that means something to you when you
Yeah.
actually see it. You don't just want to go in there and buy something off the shelf necessarily. If you're a fan of that person, then it's easy. But
Yeah, and as you say, it can be a guitar, a drum skin, it can be a canvas, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Or even a T-shirt, look.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to see that because the table's going to cut it off.
that's fine.
But this is your work, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, this is Louis, the man.
I've painted everybody from different genres. I love music. And
Is it Louis? It is Louis.
Yeah.
I suppose what we were also talking about earlier, you said you'd done a jazz cafe as well. Did you say jazz cafe or something?
I've done a
like
jazz
that?
collection.
Collection, yeah.
And it's and from an old friend that taught me to paint is you always have the music playing while you're painting that work. And
That's a good idea.
Because if you've got a venue and you want something a little bit special,
if you want something different there, then
that's ideal, isn't
Yeah.
it? So I was we were talking earlier, and I thought the best idea if you've got a band or like a famous band, wouldn't it be brilliant? Like you said, do like a little release, like a limited edition canvas. So there's an idea for all you.
What about band name?
yeah, it could be. You could do something for the band and we're going into slightly more unique merchandise without.
Yeah,
we're
'cause-
giving something that's a bit more unique to the fans, which often the fans deserve. So
'Cause-
it can be the guitar, and then we could do limited prints of the actual guitar, and then they're signed by the artist, but then signed by the band as well. So
Yeah, because there's so many bands doing stuff on vinyl, CD collectors boxes, and that'd just be a little extra that the fans could have.
yeah,
And then, of course, if you're a real fan of that band, they could contact you and you could do something real amazing for them.
Yeah,
that'd be
without a
incredible,
doubt.
wouldn't it?
Definitely without a doubt.
Well, we saw Amy Winehouse on an acoustic guitar, so we have a little look at Amy Winehouse on print. But so these are prints you're doing, is that?
Yeah,
is that
I'm doing
right?
a limited edition prints.
Right, now I'm going to hold it that way,
Yeah,
and
good luck
then
with
that way, then this way, any way to try and show it. But
I think really it gives an
So-
option to people that
definitely.
don't want to, maybe haven't got the space or don't want to buy the guitar or the guitar's already gone. It's a chance to get a print at a lower cost.
So here's the good thing, if you buy that guitar and people buy the prints, they're going to have prints of your actual guitar that you own. Oh, think about that. Think about that. Because that is that guitar, yeah? I take it as a photograph of
Yeah.
it, yeah?
Yeah.
Very well taken because it's printed out perfectly, DPI wise.
Yeah, it's a studio shot of it. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
but then it's collectible. So
So it's got the model number written in there and everything. So if you buy that guitar, all these prints that people are going to have on their walls are going to have pictures of your guitar in their houses. How cool! How cool!
and it's like with all art, they sell limited edition prints, and it just, in a way, it increases the value of the original piece of art, which happens to be the guitar.
So what we're offering you here, tubers, is it's a first on Take the Fear Out of the Gear. We're giving you the first chance, really, to purchase Cham's work that you've just seen. So you guys are the lucky ones. If there's anything there you fancy, you want to buy, there'll be a link for you to get in touch with Cham. And I say, even if you want some street art on a canvas, I don't know, talk to the man, talk to him, just talk to him. Anything, he will talk to you about it. And you know, the sky's the limit. So there is no end. There is no limit. It doesn't have to be musical instruments, guys. It could be anything. But we are a sort of a music kind of based show, so we wanted to go down that route.
Without a doubt.
So, brother, listen, man, thanks for coming in.
No, appreciate your time.
Really can't thank you enough. It's really
Thanks
lovely
very
to
much.
see you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Top
Brought a
man.
bit of art to the
Yeah.
old show here.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Tubes and Grooves, what a wonderful edition to Take the Fear Out has been this week. From me, Jason Bangers, it's a heartfelt goodbye. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
And for me, Mr. Chumley Warner, share with your friends, tap the bell, and everything else that goes with it.
From Cham,
Appreciate the time. Hope to hear from you soon.
you're more than welcome, my brother. And the artwork is outstanding. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Yoo-hoo.